the last decade, decade and a half, 2 decades, has actually been a remarkable success story here in the northeast. The distance between the Brahmaputra and the Yamuna, the distance between the northeast and what is called mainland India, seems to have shrunk a lot. Better connectivity, of course, great improvements in infrastructure, reduction in insurgency, more development, practically an end to any thought of separatism. All of those are dramatic changes that have come here in the northeast. I'm going to be speaking about that in just a couple of minutes to Mrinal Talukdar, who's actually been tracking many of these changes. But first, here's also a look at some of the changes that we have seen, positive changes, dramatic changes perhaps, in the northeast.
India's northeastern region has historically faced challenges related to infrastructure development, connectivity, insurgency, and economic development. But the transformation of India's gateway to its neighbours in the east has been the main focus of the Indian government in recent years. The main objectives of India's Act East policy are to revive political ties, strengthen economic linkages, forge regional security, and ensure strategic cooperation with Southeast Asia, for which northeastern region serves as a pivotal point. Connectivity matters the most in the immediate neighbourhood, and several infrastructure development projects have been initiated to improve road connectivity, development of airports, and upgrading of railway networks. Since independence, the region has remained a hotspot of insurgency, but initiatives like peace talks with various insurgent groups, surrender and rehabilitation programs, and better intelligence sharing with neighbouring countries have helped to stabilize the region and promote peace.
And to get a perspective on what exactly is happening in the northeast, when it comes to the big picture, who better to speak to than Mrinal Talukdar, author, senior journalist, somebody who understands Guwahati and Assam and the northeast better than virtually anybody else I know. So tell us, we were just sort of discussing that yes, what is happening in Manipur is particularly painful, but I don't think we should lose sight of the picture that overall in the northeast, in the last 15 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, a lot of things have changed and changed for the better.
No doubt, Manipur is not good. For the last 1 month, it has been burning. But overall, over the last decade or so, definitely there's a tremendous change to the positive side, especially in terms of connectivity. Infrastructure, Northeast is really good. As a journalist, you must have come many times for 15, 20 years back. First of all, there's no insurgency, absolutely no insurgency. It is a peaceful thing. But like a normal stage of the rest of the country, things are now moving up. We are way far behind, but we are catching up. Infrastructure, governance, connectivity, I can say yes, it has been doing really well and it improved a lot.
Can I just ask you specifically about some of those points? When you're talking about insurgency, I mean, let's remember, there used to be insurgent groups, militant groups, separatist movements. Even in Manipur right now, you're seeing people waving the Indian flag, right? And they're receiving Amit Shah out there. So what's happened to change, to stamp out all that separatism and insurgency and all that? What happened? Where did all those groups go?
So first of all, see, the people have realized that they have missed the bus. And that is the reason. Main reason is that they have missed the bus. And that's why everybody wanted to catch the bus. So in the process, state after state, the militancy has gone down. Not gone down, it's almost finished. I do not say that the governance or the army has won over all the things, but no. The people are fed up with the violence, fed up with the insurgency. That is why, even if the states like Nagaland, today there is no scope of militancy. The NSNIM, which was a mother of all insurgent groups, is now almost has lost relevance in the Naga politics. See the Manipur, there is problem of, they have the Kuki versus Meitei, but not that problem of which we used to have about secessionism, chauvinism. We had a serious problem across the border in Myanmar. There are some definite ramifications up there in Manipur and Mizoram, but certainly we are far better off as far as insurgency is concerned. And today, if you go to any places, we all journalists used to know that by 6 o'clock you have to finish up your work, you catch. Today, everywhere is like a Delhi. And then like a 4G, 5G connectivity live. So if you go to Kohima, if you go to Imphal, if you go to Aizawl, forget Guwahati. Guwahati is anyway far ahead of all these places. So I can very much vouch and that things have improved for better.
The connectivity, has that been an important part of this? Because, to some extent, I guess the Northeast always felt very distant from the mainland, cut off from mainland India, we are far away. Now, 5G is everywhere, 4G is there, connectivity, roads, airports, train, Vande Bharat now suddenly inaugurated this week, coming to Guwahati. So all of these things, had they also made that difference? The psychological difference between the Northeast and mainland India is not that much.
See, I was with UNI for a very long time. So from Delhi, my bosses used to ask me to go to Dimapur or go to Kohima and go by the kilometers at 300 kilometers. Oh, yeah, you take a cab and go by 6 hours, you'll be in Delhi, you'll be in Kohima. But that was not the place. Kohima used to be a different thing. Aizawl, one more, maybe a twice a week flight by road instead of much more, about 36 hours of journey. Everything is changed.
36 hours of journey. Remember, that's how long it would take to get to Kohima.
Yes, I'm talking about Aizawl. Kohima was better. But the thing is, even Kohima, now everything is Kohima. You just, if you start there at 6 o'clock, you can have lunch at Kohima today. That's what the advantage by road. You go to by Shatabdi and then can take a cab. You will bring. So that connectivity has dramatically changed the thing. Yes, still we have a surface problem because the geographical terrain is really different than the rest of the country. Now, air connectivity has improved a lot. Small, big planes are coming. Already one completely Northeast specific airline is here. One more is being launched. So this is something unthinkable. A Northeast specific airline, unthinkable, which is already operational one. And I believe one more is coming in next 6 months. Beyond the existing, all the nationwide airlines.
Well, when we were young journalists, one of the things that used to bother us a lot in other parts of the country, and I'm not sure it's entirely gone away, because I think that led to a certain sense of alienation. People from the Northeast would often be treated differently in other parts of the country. Ye kaun hai? Are they Indians? Are they from somewhere else? Are they, China? You remember all of that. Hopefully it's improved, but has it been completely fixed, or is there still work that needs to be done on that?
It's now an other way around stories, because I have seen the people in my Hyderabad, my friends who work for multinational companies, big shopping malls, having somebody from Northeast is an added advantage for them now. It gives a different thing. Okay, so I think, I don't know, but the thing is that yes, definitely in some places that kind of racism is always there, but that way everywhere everybody is doing that kind of thing.
But you're saying it's better. You're saying it's better. People are being treated better now.
Yes, far better. Occasional incidents will be always there.
Yeah.
Somebody from the north will have some problem in south. Recently, Bihar had some problem with maybe a fake story, but in the south. But I still say that no, it's now far better improved story. You cannot generalize the Northeast peoples are being looked at a different way. The present regime, despite there's all plus and minus of their politics, but their approach to our Northeast is far better.
So yeah, that's one of the things that this government, the central government, whether it's the Prime Minister, whether it's, look at the amount of time Amit Shah is just spending in Manipur. The Northeast seems to matter a lot for them. They've come here very often. They've spent a lot of time trying to do that. Has that also made a difference?
I do have some issues with his late arrival at Manipur. Leaving apart that, he has come, the Prime Minister himself has come many times. That focus is definitely for the Northeast. But seriously saying, this time in Manipur, they had bungled. They should have come and handled it earlier. Otherwise, their approach and accessibility approach to Northeast is far better than the previous regime. That I must accept. Once again, I'm saying plus minus their own politics.
So what could go wrong? What are still the problems in the Northeast? So do you think it's far more integrated, developing fast, not as much of an area of concern as other parts of the country?
No, I don't see much problem because the entire mindset had changed of the people. Once you have a positive mindset, politics will come and go. Election, somebody will win, somebody will come. Today Congress, today BJP, somebody Congress, somebody will come. But as a whole, the mindset of the people has completely changed. There is, I personally feel that a so-called gap between the Northeast and the rest of the India and Northeast, I think is that wall is definitely is giving away. And I believe that things are for better.
All right.
Thanks a lot.
So
Thanks.
that's good news story to have on this week at a time when everyone's so concerned about what's happening in Manipur. But as Mrinal was just saying, to keep the big picture in mind, the big picture in the Northeast, by and large, is a positive picture.